Hi students, welcome to online class. So now we are going to see about chapter 7, Python functions. So in this we are going to see about the next function, anonymous function. So already we discussed about the built-in function and user-defined function. Now we are going to discuss about anonymous function. So what is mean by anonymous function? Anonymous function is a function that is defined without a name. If the function does not contain a name, then that function is called anonymous function. So what is the difference between anonymous function and other functions? See, whenever the user is defining a function, the user will give the name for the function. The function name may be fact, add, multiply, or like that we can give any name for the function we can give, but without name we will not create, the user will not create a function. So what about the anonymous function? See, while normal functions are defined, whenever we are defining the normal function, we used to give the def keyword. The def keyword will be given in Python when we define a normal function. When you go for anonymous function, the anonymous functions are defined using the keyword called lambda. We used to give the keyword called lambda. So using this keyword only, we used to define the anonymous function. So again I go with the definition. Anonymous function is a function that is defined without a name, that does not contains a name. Whenever we go with ordinary function, the ordinary function contains the def keyword. But when you go with the anonymous function, the anonymous functions are defined with the keyword called lambda. So using the keyword lambda only, we define the anonymous function. Sometimes the anonymous functions are otherwise called as lambda function. So there is another name for anonymous function. What is the another name for anonymous function? Lambda function. Right. Now we go for the what is the use of lambda function? How we can create the lambda function? Like that we can see in an example plus syntax, and we can see in a programmatical manner. So first we go with the lambda function. What is the usage? Lambda function is most commonly used for creating small and one-time anonymous function. So whenever we want to create a small function, whenever we want to create a one-time anonymous function, whenever you create a program, a lengthier program, at that particular time, if you want to create one anonymous function in that program, so at that time we can use this lambda function. So it is used in a small purpose. It is used to create for a small purpose, as well as it is used to create for one-time anonymous function. Right. Then what is the another usage? What is the benefit or what is the advantage in lambda function? Lambda function can take any number of arguments. So this is very important thing. So only this particular function can take any number of arguments. Any number means there is no limitation. You can give as much as arguments. But when you go with built-in function and user-defined function, there is some limitation. But in lambda function, there is no such limitation. Any number of arguments is possible. You can give as much as arguments in the lambda function. And another thing, whenever you give as much of arguments, it will return only one value in the form of an expression. You can give any number of arguments, but the result will be that is the returning value will be one value. The returning value will be only one value. It will be in the form of expression. Right. Then see the next usage. Lambda function can only access global variables and variables in its parameter list. So it has the ability to access only global variables. It is the lambda function is not able to access the private variables, right? Local variables, like that we can say. So lambda function has the ability to access only the global variables. It is not able to access the local variables, and at the same time whatever the variables we give in its parameter list, those variables alone are accessible. So the variables which are not in the parameter is not accessible. So in simple words we can say the usage again. So lambda function is used for creating small programs, and then it is used for one-time anonymous function. Lambda function can take any number of arguments, but it can return only one value. Lambda function can access only global variables and the variables which are used inside the parameter list. Other variables are not accessible, such as local variables are not accessible. Right. Let's see the syntax, then you can understand it clearly. So lambda is the keyword that is used to represent anonymous function. So as much as arguments you can give, as much as arguments inside the as much as arguments you can give. So I have given within the square bracket. The square bracket is not necessary. So for your understanding, I have separated the keyword and arguments. Right. So lambda keyword can be given. So next you can give as much as arguments. Then colon. So the arguments, after the arguments you want to give colon. Then whatever the expression you need, whatever the result, return value, that return value can be given in the form of expression. Right. So here we are using the lambda keyword and then arguments, then colon. After the colon we want to return the value as an expression. Right. Now you can see the example. Sum is equal to lambda. So we are going to find out the sum. From this you can understand that addition is going to be done here. So sum is equal to lambda argument 1 comma argument 2. So how many arguments here they are using? They are using only 2 arguments. One is argument 1 and another one is argument 2. Then after that colon, what they have done? They have done addition. Argument 1 plus argument 2. Right. Now they are passing. The sum is using the print statement. We are passing the value. So the sum is sum 30 comma 40. So now 30 is a value which is stored in argument 1. Then 40 is a value which is stored in argument 2. So when I add 30 plus 40, what is the value of sum? Sum becomes 70. So like that I have given the next another printing statement. So instead of 30, 40, I have given minus 30 and 40. So now what will happen? Minus 30 plus 40, it shows plus 10. So the result is, the sum is 10. Right? I think you have understood this. Now we can see this in a practical manner. Then you can understand it clearly. So open the Python program. After opening the Python interactive mode, so just to open the script mode. So already I have stored all the programs, D colon, and then when I go to programs, so lambda function. So I have created the program. So I have given the values. Simply I am going to run the program. So when I press F5, so what happens here? Sum is 70. Then another sum is 10. Right. Here you might ask another question. Sir, whether I can give only 2 arguments? Can I go with 3 arguments? Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. I will show you. So, comma argument 3 I can give here. So, comma argument 3 I can go with the 3 numbers addition of 3 numbers. So, I have given sum is equal to lambda argument 1 comma argument 2 comma argument 3, and then I have done the addition argument 1 plus argument 2 plus argument 3. Now I am going to pass the value. So 30 comma 40 comma 60 if I give like this. So here also I am giving minus 30 comma 40 comma minus 10 if I give like this. Now what happens you see here. So after saving the program, when I press F5, here it shows sum is 130. How it is 130? So here 30 plus 40, 70. 70 plus 60, it is 130. Then what about this second output? Minus 30 comma 40 minus 10. So minus 30 plus minus 10, it becomes minus 40. Minus 40 plus 40, it becomes 0. Can you understand, students? So I have shown you with the 3 arguments. So lambda function can accept any number of arguments, but it can return only one value. You can see the output. It is giving you only one value. It is showing only the one value, one result. Can you understand, students? Right. Now we can go for the next topic, a return statement. So this particular statement you have studied in the 11th itself. What is meant by return statement means it is used to return the value to the calling function. It is used to return the value to its caller. See here, the return statement causes your function to exit. So that is the exit point. That is the last part in the function. Whenever the function is ended, whenever the function is going to end, you can see the statement called return statement. So that particular statement is the last line of the function. So under the same time, it is used to return a value to its caller. Caller means where the function is called. Right? That particular point, the value will be returned. See here, the point of functions in general is to take inputs and return something. So what is the main usage of the function? The main usage of the function is used to get the input. So the function will take the input and it should return something. Right. The return statement is used when a function is ready to return a value to its caller. So when we use the return statement, when there is a need, when you want to pass the value to the calling function, to the caller, at the time alone you want to use return statement. Otherwise there is no need to return a value to the caller. So it is not a compulsory one. When there is a need, after getting the input for the function will process the input, and after the input is processed, the output can be displayed in the function itself. If there is a need, the value, the output can be returned to the caller. So for that purpose, we use the statement called return statement. I think you might have understood this. Right. So only one return statement is executed at runtime, even though function contains multiple statements. So whenever we have one or more return statements, all the return statements will not be executed at runtime. So a function can return only one statement at any point of time. Only one statement will be executed. See here, the same thing is given. Any number of return statements are allowed in the function definition. Any number of return statements are allowed in the function definition, but only one of them will be executed at runtime, because only one return can be executed, not more than one return, because the output should be a one value. It should not be more than one or more values, right? See the syntax. So return and then whatever the expression, so that is given in square bracket. So here no need to give the square bracket. So for your understanding purpose, in the book they are given like that. So return, that expression should be given after the keyword return. This statement contains expression which gets evaluated. The expression gets evaluated and the value is returned to the caller. And the value is returned to the caller. If there is no expression in the statement, simply I am giving just the keyword return alone. Instead of giving the expression, if I don't give any expression, if the expression statement is not present, then what will happen? Simply I am using the return statement alone. So what will be returned? Return none object. So the output will be return none. Simply we can say that the word none will be printed on the screen. The word none will be printed on the screen. Right. Now you can see the example coding, then you can understand it clearly. So here we are using the function keyword, user defined function DEF. DEF stands for function definition. So it's a user defined function. Then what is the function name? USR underscore ABS. So user is going to give a number. That number will be changed into a absolute number. Right. I have given only one parameter. The parameter name is n. Right. Then if n is greater than or equal to 0, if n value is greater than or equal to 0, you want to return n. So what I am returning? I am returning only the value of n. But if the value is less than 0, if n value is less than 0, then what will happen? Else you should return minus n. Else you should return minus n. So see here, so I am getting the input integer, input function. So enter a number. So the number will be stored in the variable x. And then the variable x is passed to the function USR underscore ABS. So x value is assigned in n and then it checks the condition. If the condition is true, return n. If the condition is false, else part will be executed. So return minus n. Return minus n. Now we can see this in a practical manner. So they have shown you the output. So whenever we give a positive number, 25 is greater than 0. Yes, it is true. So what will be the result? It shows 25. So whenever I give 25 greater than or equal to 0, it shows true. True means return n. So n value is returned means what is the value of n? 25. 25 will be returned. So 25 will be printed here. But when I give negative value, instead of 25, if I give minus 25, now what happens? Minus 25 means it checks the condition. Minus 25 is not greater than or equal to 0. Condition becomes false. So else part. What is the else part? Return minus n. So already n value is minus 25. So return minus of minus 25. Minus into minus it becomes plus. So the output will be changed as plus 25. I think you have understood this. I will show you in a practical manner. So control plus O. I have created a return statement. See here. So I have created the program. So when I press F5, if I give 25, so it shows as it is 25. But when I again run the program, if I give a negative value, minus 9, if I give like this, now what happens? Minus 9 is changed as 9. Can you understand, students? So at any point of time, either return n is executed or return minus n is executed. So not both the statements are executed. So at any point of time only one return statement is executed, not both the return statements are executed. Right? I think you have understood this video. So we have discussed about lambda function and then return statement. Lambda function means anonymous function is otherwise called as lambda function. So anonymous function means a function without name is called anonymous function. So for that we use the keyword called lambda. Then lambda function can accept any number of arguments. It can accept any number of arguments, but it returns only one value. Then return statement is used to return some value to the caller. A function is ready to return a value to its caller. So it is going to return some value to the caller, calling function. Then next, any number of return statements are allowed in the function definition, but only one of them is executed at runtime. Right? I think you might have understood this. When I use only return statement alone, what will be printed on the screen? Return, none will be printed on the screen. Right? I think you have understood this. I think we can end the class. So with this we have discussed about the anonymous function and then we have completed the return statement. So thank you students.